Hey all you cool cats and kittens. So today we're going to make mini Death by Chocolate cheesecake cupcakes. These are some of my favorite things. I mean, I'm a huge chocolate lover. I love to eat anything chocolate. The more chocolate, the better. But I made these quite a few times for different groups of people, and they've all been a hit. So I'm excited to share these with you. So normally, most cheesecakes come with a graham cracker crust. But in the theme of chocolate, we're going to use Oreos. So I have 14 double stuffed Oreos in my bag. You could use regular Oreos. I just like the cream in my crust as well. Some people don't, that's fine. So we're gonna crush these up, combine them with some butter, and then put them in a prepared muffin tin. This is where you can get your anger out. Okay. So now we have all nice crumbles. We're going to put them into this bowl and then mix it with 4 tablespoons. I'm using unsalted butter. You could really use salted as well, whatever you have in your fridge. So now all of our Oreos are evenly coated with some butter. We have a 12 count muffin tin prepared with some liners. I just have the really cheap liners from the grocery store. Anything will work. We're going to put a little bit of the Oreo mixture in each of these, and then we're going to press it down so it makes a crust. So this is what you're aiming for in your muffin tin. Just some evenly coated bottoms with all the Oreos. Now we're going to make the cheesecake layer. So for this recipe, I really want to talk quick before we assemble our layer. You're going to need to use a double broiler to melt a cup of chocolate chips that we're going to fold into the cheesecake layer. Now, if you don't have a double broiler, you can use a microwave, but you have to be really careful and you have to stir it a lot because you don't want to burn it. Now, a double broiler, if you don't know what it is, really you could use anything. We have this nice bowl that fits into this pot, but just as long as you have a smaller substance of something that goes into a bigger pot, you can use it. And you only want it, if you can see, you only want it to touch just the very bottom. Only this bottom layer is touching the water, because then when it comes to a boil, it's not going to get it too hot that it burns, but it's going to create a nice consistent chocolate that you can then fold into your cheesecake. Time for the cheesecake layer. We're going to use our KitchenAid with the paddle attachment. 1.5 for 12 ounces of cream cheese. A third of a cup of granulated sugar. Tablespoon of all-purpose flour. Tablespoon of cocoa powder. Fourth of a teaspoon of kosher salt. Now we're going to whip all of that together. Now we're going to add 2 eggs. And then slowly beat that together. I'm going to give the sides a good scrape. Now we're going to grab our melted chocolate from our double broiler and then fold it into our mixture. Now it's time to fold in our melted chocolate. Make sure as soon as you get this melted chocolate in there, you fold it fast. Since you have eggs, you don't want to boil them. So now that our cheesecake layer is done, we're going to put it into our prepared muffin tin. And then we're going to bake it at 350 for about 12 to 14 minutes or until they're just slightly jiggly, but not to the point where they're completely undercooked. In they go. In the oven they go. If you thought we were done with the double broiler, you're wrong because we're making ganache. Our double broiler for our ganache, we have 1/4 cup of chocolate chips and 3 tablespoons of heavy whipping cream. We're going to wait until these smooth out, and it's going to create a beautifully smooth chocolate sauce that's going to go on top of our cupcakes. So the last bit of our Death by Chocolate cheesecake cupcakes is, I don't know if you guessed it, chocolate whipped cream. So we're going to put in 3/4 cup of heavy whipping cream and then 3 tablespoons of chocolate syrup. And we're going to whip it. Do we have stiff peaks? I think we do. Took these out of the tray. We're going to throw some ganache on them, and then we're going to cool them off because you don't want them to be hot while you put your whipped cream on, or else it'll melt. Now that our lovely cheesecake cups are cooled, it's time to whip cream them. Don't have a pastry bag? No big deal. I just used a quart Ziploc bag, and I have just a plastic tip that I cut with scissors on the end. I'm just going to take it, squeeze from the top, and take it around in a spiral. And there you have it. So I'm going to do these to all these, and then we're going to dust them with some cocoa powder, and then they're done. And the finale, a dusting.